Distract TV. I'm here with the Stone Foundation. Neil,
How's it going, mate?
how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm really well. We've just done a sound check downstairs, so we're ready to go tonight, and the show is sold out as well.
Don't you just love them words, sold out? I make you feel like it's all worth it.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great to come to such an iconic venue like this and know that like the place is going to be a sellout as well. It's really cool.
No doubt. Now tell me, how did you guys come about? I mean, how long have you been a singer? And I know you're the lead vocalist. So.
Right, well, we basically got together, myself and Neil Sheesby, who plays bass guitar in the band. That was about 12 years ago. And we just kind of started piecing in the players for the bands. We knew we wanted something that was going to have a little bit of funk edge to it, soul. So we looked at getting a great section together, congas, percussion, Hammond organ. So it's all got that kind of vibe to it, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
One thing that struck me with you guys, you've got this lovely nostalgic feel to you.
Yeah.
And the music feels like real and relevant. Because sometimes the argument music these days isn't as authentic, and I think you guys kind of fill that gap.
I think we really, when we first started out, we were always tied in with like the mod crowd or the modernist crowd. But I think sometimes that crowd can look too far back. You know what I mean? And we're really conscious of the term modernism. Really, is that you're always looking forward and you're always sort of going against the obvious things. Do you know what I mean? So we're trying to take stuff that we love and then just put our own little sort of British soul twist on it. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I think I know what you mean. Like you say, it's all about moving forward.
Yeah,
Good to have the old flavour, but still with the new sound. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what's your influences in terms of what got you into singing and got you on the road, so to speak?
Well, funnily enough, I mean, like I've just mentioned the modernist thing, and I did love that mod scene when I was growing up as a kid, and I still do, to be honest, because it incorporates a lot of fantastic music. But I think the thing that really sort of tied me in was the first time I heard Tell the Truth by Otis Redding, you know, and some of those old Stax records that just kind of punch you in the heart, you know what I mean?
Hit you in the chest.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I just kind of fell in love with that sound that was coming from over the Atlantic, you know. And funnily enough, the other thing, the thing that me and Neil Sheesby really sort of hooked up on and realised we had like a sort of togetherness on was the hip hop scene. We absolutely love the hip hop scene, and that was all because they were using like funk and soul and all these little samples, you know, for their sort of vibe. Things like KRS-One or Big Daddy Kane or all those old like grooves and stuff. And you think, where's this come from, man? And,
I want a piece of this.
totally.
Incorporate into your sound.
Yeah, totally. And these guys were just like crate diggers, really, weren't they? They were looking for old 45s.
How can they mix it up?
Yeah, totally. So that kind of, you know, really got myself and Neil together. That was our kind of starting point, was the hip hop thing, you know. So it was great.
Awesome. What about going forward with this new album? Tell me, what's the elements that you've used to sort of get your sound going, to, you know, modern wise?
Well, we've made a couple of conscious decisions. We brought in Rob Newton, who plays congas, who's really fantastic asset to the band. Like, add that extra bit of funk in the percussion. You know what I mean? Yeah, totally. The brass section, we've got a couple of new guys come in, Adam Stevens and Gareth John, and they've augmented the section with Gary Rollins, and it's more of a reedy kind of sound now. So it's got more of that sort of jazz kind of element to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you go about recruiting these guys? What's the process? What's the scouting network?
To be honest, the bigger the band gets, especially, you know, when we're coming down London and selling out these kind of venues, it's a little bit easier because people want to play with you.
Knocking on your door, like...
Early days, it was a bit different. We'd have to go and pinch people from bands, you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
But no, it's definitely got a lot easier. People do tend to kind of contact you and say, "Oh, we'd love to play with you. We'd love to play with you guys." I mean, that's kind of mirrored itself in the people we've had on the last couple of records, like Carleen Anderson. You know, she sang on our last album. It's crazy. I'd have never dreamt that would have happened.
You wouldn't have thought you could attract someone of that stature.
You know, like Graham Parker sings on this record, just like someone that I looked up to for years. And like, you're in the studio with the guy and people like Andy Fairweather-Low, and you're saying, right, okay, if you can just put down a takedown, you're thinking, am I really here at this
It's
point?
happening for real. Like.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, it's kind of mirrored in the people that, you know, the artists that we look up to that want to come and play with us, you know.
Awesome, awesome. Now, in terms of this venue, have you played there before? And what's the general feel about Camden? What do you get when you come to the Jazz Cafe?
This venue's really great. It's really special. We played the first time in April and we sold the venue out. And obviously tonight's looking pretty much the same way as well. And when you get that kind of vibe on stage, it's really electric in here, and the sound's really good as well. You know, it's one of the best sounding venues that you could play in.
It's like legendary in its
Yeah,
status.
totally,
I
mate,
mean,
totally.
when I heard I was going to be able to do the interview with you guys at the Jazz Cafe, I felt the buzz. I was like, I'm getting here early. The bouncer didn't let us in until 7, but
Yeah.
you know, it was great to be
I've
a part of it.
I've seen some magic gigs here from people like Candy Staton to Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings and people like that. You know, and every time I've absolutely loved the gigs that I've attended here. You know, and to play here is a real privilege. It's been a really crazy couple of years for us. You know, we've obviously gone from sort of selling out venues in London. We got a record deal in Japan, which we went out and played Fuji Rock in the summer.
That's crazy.
Played to like 4,000 people in Fuji Rock. It was mental. It was like
Japan.
you know, but we're like sort of musicians that have been sort of plugging away for quite a few years.
Rewarding.
Yeah, and it's you know, all that hard work's paying off. And then we go and tour in Germany at the end of this month as well, and that's looking really cool as well. So yeah, it's good. So the new album is out now. It's called A Life Unlimited, and it's available in all good record shops around the country. And also, you know, in all the usual places. It's a 10-track record. I think it's my favourite Stone Foundation record to date. It's definitely a little bit more funkier, a little bit more jazzier than the
What's
last.
your standout track? You really enjoyed. You felt.
I think there's one track that I absolutely love singing, and it's the song that we usually close the show with, and it's called Speak Your Peace. And
Speak
it's
Your
kind of
Peace.
like a bit of a jazz. It's got a bit of a Marvin feel, a bit of a jazz kind of epic kind of thing to it. You know, it's a long song, but it's something that you can really throw your body into. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a real soul-stirring kind of rendition.
It's
the title alone.
That's right. Yeah, it's the centerpiece on the new album as well. So yeah, I really love that song. But I love all the different tracks. There's a lot of variety on the record.
Awesome. Well, look, thank you so much for coming and speaking to us today. We're going to film some of the gig and then enjoy your show.
Nice one, man. Thanks very much. Thanks for having us. Cheers. You're watching Diss Track TV. This is Neil Jones from Stone Foundation.